I call them the what if thoughts. And those intrusive thoughts, the way that we typically approach them is the way that you might approach an uninvited guest that is going to make them not want to leave. So think about this. If someone shows up at your house that you really don't want to be there, and you invite them in and you entertain them and you engage with them and maybe you feed them and you make it quite a lovely atmosphere for them, they're not going to want to leave. If the more attention you give to them, the more they are going to want to stay. And this is what we often do with our intrusive or invasive fear, anxiety, shame, or worry producing thoughts, the ones that kind of get in there and that we have a hard time getting past, getting through, letting go. So we typically tell ourselves when these thoughts are coming in, we engage them by saying something like, oh, just think positive. And we engage them. Now, it's not unhelpful to tell yourself to just think positive, but there's a time and a place, and when you have those intrusive thoughts are neither the time and usually not the place. Because what happens when we tell ourselves to just think positive and it doesn't work, then we tell ourselves we're doing something wrong, that we can't just think positive. We can't just assume the best. Maybe I am going to get into a car accident if I go out, but I'm not going to. It's going to be fine. But then there's that part of your brain that's like, well, it's possible. And so it knows that you're lying to yourself by saying everything is going to be fine because you don't know. Or if you're like, oh yeah, that person's totally not judging me for what I said at that event. But part of your brain is like, well, they could be. And so it knows that you're lying to yourself. So sometimes just telling yourself to think positive, it doesn't work because your brain knows that it's not true. The thoughts that you're trying to feed it that are just positive and wonderful and amazing and everything's going to be great are just not true. So it pushes back and sometimes even makes those intrusive thoughts even worse.